Pretty interesting article from NPR about the economic benefits of canceling the student loan debt in the United States. And obviously, the two candidates most associated with that, Bernie Sanders wants to cancel all student loan debt. Elizabeth Warren only wants to cancel, I believe, a portion of it. So Bernie's plan is obviously much better. Yeah, so Warren gives up to 50 for most people. And then, of course, you have the NPR right-wing framing of some of this. But with these plans having a price tag north of $1 trillion, such legislation would come with plenty of risk. You don't hear that same type of rhetoric, when the United States is spending insane amounts of money on death and destruction vis-a-vis our foreign policy, of course. But when it's for programs that benefit working people in the United States, how are you going to pay for it? How are you going to pay for it? How are you going to pay for it? Well, it's like this person, they have 96 grand in student loans after graduating with their undergrad and their graduate degree. And so, they would still have a shit ton of student loan debt left under Elizabeth Warren's plan. Under Bernie's plan, it would all be canceled. And then so this person, this Laura Greenwood person from Montpelier, Vermont, is saying that her and her partner would like to start a family, but they both have student loan debt and they just can't afford it. So that's definitely one way it would, empower people and give people more freedom in the United States. Get rid of people's student loan debt so they're able to start families, they're able to buy homes, start businesses, take trips, just not be saddled with this just insane amount of student loan debt. Would be just so huge for, it's like 46 million people, I think, have student loan debt. So let's check it out. This is a Lawrence Yun, the National Association of Realtors chief economist. He's not endorsing any particular plan, but home sales could be, say, 300,000 higher annually if people were not saddled with large student debt, Yun says. That would be a boost to the housing sector as well as to the economy. That's pretty substantial. Being able to free up 300,000 more people to buy houses each year, that's pretty awesome. And obviously, like they said, helps the economy, helps the real estate market, and helps those people to, put some roots down, get a home, start a family, supposedly go after that American dream we're always told still exists. And then also talked about how it would be beneficial to the overall GDP or economy, which, can be helpful, cannot be. There have been some estimates that U.S. real GDP could be boosted on average by 86 million to 108 billion per year, which is quite a bit, he says. That's if you had total loan forgiveness, which is what Bernie's plan calls for. Foster says it wouldn't have to be total forgiveness to see significant results. And he says it could also help address rising income inequality. So, pretty interesting article from NPR. And it's all common sense, if we get rid of this, it's like 1.5, maybe even $1.6 trillion in student loan debt. It's going to free up close to 50 million people to start families, buy houses, start businesses that they've maybe been putting off due to, having to pay down these insane amounts of student loan payments each month, be able to save for retirement, take vacations, all of these things. So, and this is Warren Gunnels, one of Bernie Sanders' advisors. Like I said, home ownership up by 300,000 a year, GDP up by 108 billion a year, jobs up by 4.4 million over 5 years, racial wealth gap down from 12.1 to 5.1. I didn't see that stat in the article, but that's also interesting, and it makes sense because, more likely than not, families of color are not going to have the economic resources to, fund a college, degree or graduate degree for their kids or for themselves because of the, racial wealth gap and just the structural inequities that have allowed white people and white families to accumulate wealth, while especially since the recession in 2008, people and families of color, their wealth has just declined pretty drastically after the 2008 crash, and this would help with that. So it just makes sense from a fiscal perspective, from an ethical, moral perspective, and it catches the United States up with the rest of the developed world. We shouldn't have young people or anybody shackled with tens of thousands, sometimes hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt because they want to pursue a higher education, either just to increase their learning or to get a job in some type of field. And it's just horrible, and that's why we need to cancel all student loan debt and make college free. It's the right thing to do on every level, and Bernie's the only one who wants to cancel all of it. Bernie 2020, not me, us.